Market access is a very important function for all of our med technology companies and our pharma companies as well. It's really kind of a backbone to the generation of revenue and to the health of their business model, is to make sure that they've got the appropriate access, to the markets that they're targeting.
Fundamentally, it's really important to understand the population that you're really most trying to impact, right?
Agreed.
So understanding what are the specific details about that population. Are you talking about an older or younger population, a population that's either more sick or less sick, depending on what those variables or outcomes you're trying to impact, right, include? Where and how, especially as folks are bringing in sort of disparities, populations that might not have as much access, that you're really trying to make sure that you really bring them into the fold.
Many of the health plans are very concerned now, as is, kind of the general system is, around the disparities. There's been a lot of disclosure of, whether it's race, gender, ethnicity. There's a lot of inequities in our healthcare system.
Correct.
And the health plans are very receptive to hearing about technology and innovations that will actually address some of those disparities. The second part of the pillar is the health economics generation, because the health insurance companies will tell you that the clinical utility or the clinical evidence is much more important than the health economics. Although we think behind the curtain, the health economics is more important than they're willing to admit. But we like to have both.
The neat thing about medical societies as a construct is it really represents the thought leadership in a particular field, right? And it really is understanding, as you're bringing a new brand or a new, whether it's in the pharma or biotech space, that you're really understanding what are those thought leaders considering and thinking about in terms of best practices, in terms of guidelines. And obviously, the best outcome would be to be able to include your asset in the guidelines in terms of whether it be a test or a treatment or, whatever your asset is addressing, and really understanding where and how, what are the thought leaders, what are folks talking about, what are they thinking about, and is your product relevant to the conversations being had in a particular space?
It's the old chicken and the egg. To some extent, it's incumbent upon the company to create some noise, to create some appetite, for the technology or the asset or the innovation, right? And some would say, well, you can't really create that appetite if you don't have insurance coverage and a lot of evidence. But that's the challenge, for life sciences companies, is to create some demand, some noise, some appetite, while still, kind of building the other assets or the other parts of the market access stool that you need to develop.
I think it really brings it all together, right? And as you mentioned, from the provider's perspective, from the patient voice, really understanding kind of like what is that value add to the product that you're trying to put forth in the market.
We at Baker Tilly have a very crystal clear perspective on market access, and we do have a market access checklist on our website, and we welcome you to go check it out.
Please visit our website to learn more about how Baker Tilly can help your organization uncover opportunities for success.